welcome back to Afternoon Express. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday afternoon. Now, equipped only with drawing skills, creative style, and an eye for detail, Anika Stellenboom was determined to learn everything she could in order to establish herself as a designer. After gaining experience through freelancing as a fashion stylist and makeup artist on several editorials, campaigns, and portfolio books, she created her very own brand called Phi.Casa. Phi.Casa specializes in beautifully crafted luxury ready-to-wear garments. Let's have a look at some of those garments.
The spirit of the earth lives in all of us, rooted deep within our souls.
Yeah, that is so beautiful and so beautifully filmed as well. Welcome to the
Thank
show.
you. Hi.
I think earlier in the show, so when we were doing your briefing about the stuff that you're doing, someone said, oh, it's going to be modest wear. And I thought, well, that's something I've never worn.
What's that?
I mean, you just interpret modest in such a beautiful way. And then with Eid and Ramadan coming up, I think it's a concern on how to dress modest and still look fabulous and fashionable at the same time. So what was your interpretation of modest dress wear?
I think with regards to modest wear, a lot of the time people assume that it's religious-based when I believe that it's not. Modesty means different things in different cultures, East and West, as you know. Modesty in itself, the word, it's derived from the Latin word modestus, which means keeping within measure, you know. So it really depends on what your intake is regarding modest wear. I like modest wear for many reasons. One of the main reasons is the fact that it can still look stylish. That's something I don't compromise on. So that's really what the objective is. We're also consulting with the Council of Modest Fashion Africa to expand globally and locally for the purpose of modest design, because I think that's something that's not really focused on as much in South African community at the moment.
Not too many people are doing what you're doing right now, and you're doing it, so your work is immaculate. I absolutely love it. But you haven't always been a fashion designer. You started off as a makeup artist.
I did.
It's all creative. It's all within the realm of creativity. But how did you make the jump?
I think I was really fortunate to... I just decided, this is what I'm going to do. I woke up one day and I was like, oh, I'm a makeup artist. And I started in the industry working tests, and then it went on to editorials, and I started meeting notable people. And then from there, it translated to styling. And then I was like, oh, I want to be a designer. But that was a lot of work, because that was teaching myself, okay, so that's a hem. YouTube, how to do a hem, and then sewing it, and then figuring it out as you go along. So it took really long. I mean, I didn't go to university to be able to study those things, and I'm still a work in progress.
No, I love that. I call it self-taught. You're self-taught, because you're not going to wait for anyone to dictate to you what you can and can't do. You're kind of going to pave the way for yourself, do it yourself, and I love that so much about you. We've got your first model lined up, and she looks absolutely stunning. I mean, I'm kind of obsessed with these pants.
Oh, I love these pants.
I love that
The fit is amazing.
sheer, glittery, goldy kind of accent.
Yeah, the metallic. This particular look, it's called the Beetle. It's inspired by the Beetle. It's from my collection called Spirited, and the entire collection is inspired by female animals within the animal kingdom. They've all got their own individual strengths. This particular
those
one...
pants are definitely going to be bought by me today.
I love those
I'm obsessed
pants.
with them. But you know what? On social media, we're busy asking people, what do you prefer to like dress for, winter or summer? And you know why I think everyone chooses winter? Because you can be more fashionable, because you've got so much more to work with. And that's exactly why your collection is so successful. You've got great fabrics and a great combination of style, lines, design,
Layers,
Textures,
basically.
everything. I love texture.
This is stunning.
Yeah.
This
I wanted-
is the crane, the African crane.
Yes.
One of my favorites.
I wanted to find out which animal this is inspired by, because you have chosen such iconic, strong female, or rather female role animals.
Yeah.
But I was trying to find out, trying to channel, what were you going for here?
If you looked at the lookbook images, the way we've created the artwork for the lookbook, this particular dress, we've done the headpiece, which is the African crane, and if you look at the African crane in itself, it's very similar. So, so that one, this one is the wolf that we did. It's a bit stronger, you know, it's a little bit more masculine, still feminine, but this one was the wolf, which is, as you know, resilient, strong, courage. That's really.
And I have to tell you, you have just nailed pants tailoring so well.
Thank you. It took a really long
No,
time
I'm sure,
to
but
get
you've
these.
nailed it, because I'm looking at all of the lines on your pants, and they're all, like, even though they're a wide leg, they're all so feminine and so sexy, because it's a perfectly cinched waist and such a nice long leg.
Yeah.
The reason for that is because I'm pear-shaped, and I have designed things to make me look slimmer or, you know, proportion. As a stylist as well, these are the things that I looked at. So it took a really long time to be able to
But
achieve that.
it's just done. There's nothing pear-shaped about that. It's incredible.
Thank you.
I love that.
This one's inspired by the honeybee. Honeybee is probably my absolute favorite out of all the creatures, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, what was the idea behind putting all the female animals together, or putting animals together?
I was watching Netflix, and I was watching this documentary, and I was like, oh wow, those female animals, they survive in the wild. You know, it's a lot like women. And then there was certain elements of these strengths that I found to be quite amazing. The honeybee is probably one of the most fascinating. The honeybee symbolizes hope, for example.
Yeah, wow.
The reason for that is that they are not aerodynamically designed to fly at all. It's impossible for them to fly, and yet they do. And they are associated with that saying, to dream the impossible dream.
Oh, we love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing your
Thank you
collection
so
with
much
us.
for having
Well
me.
done. It's really, really
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank
We've
you.
loved having you here. Now stay right where you are, because after the break, Anisima delivers an exciting performance live in the loft.